Hi guys, I'm Jason. So we were talking about Ruby with my friend Larry, and he said he'd never watch it, so we wanted to watch it with him for the first time and get his thoughts. Let's see. Okay, cool. So we just watched the first episode of Ruby. What'd you think?
That was pretty good. Even though you can clearly see it's like only made by 5 people, but it's not bad for 5 people. Even though you can really see that um, they tried really hard. There's a lot of effort put into it. There's a lot of music. It's only like 12 minutes, which is like half of a normal anime episode. But I think they did a good job.
That's cool. Did you like the fighting in it?
Yeah, it was really interesting how they introduced that main character and her style and her scythe sniper thing.
Sniper scythe?
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
yeah, it's a really awesome concept, and it'll be really cool to see more of it.
Cool. What do you think about how they introduce characters? Like all the other ones, the bad guys.
I feel like it could have used a little bit more work. It definitely is a work in progress. It's their first episode, so it's not bad, but there could have been a little bit more character development of not just who Ruby is, but who that bad guy is. What's his name? Also, her sister and the headmaster, and like it would have been cool to like see their personality a little bit more because it seems as they're going to be in the rest of the show a lot more.
Okay, yeah. That's interesting because when I first watched it, because this was like a long time ago, so I thought it was cool that they did like one character only. So it's like you get to see how cool Ruby is.
Yeah.
But yeah, because like they'll introduce the other characters later. But it was like I was just wondering because like I've watched it a bunch of times.
Okay.
So it's like different perspectives. Someone who's never watched it, who's never heard of it.
Yeah. I feel like in a lot of different shows and animes, a lot of the main characters get introduced at kind of the same time. Obviously, the main character will display him more, but you still get to see more of who the main supporting character is and like how in relation to the main character how like who they are. Even though we did see her sister, we don't really know what she does or really who she is. We know is that she cares she cares a lot about her sister, but we don't know how she interacts with other people or anything.
Okay. Good. Anything that you thought was new that you hadn't seen in other stuff, or?
I don't think there's anything in particular. I thought the weapons were really interesting, but it's kind of something I've seen in some video games, such as like Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
They have like switch axes or whatever, and it's pretty typical anime style. I just thought the animation it really reminded me of like game cutscenes, which obviously aren't the best, but being the first episode, it's all right. But I really liked the outro a lot though.
Yeah.
The outro was really well done. The animation I feel like was a little bit better. The music could have used a little bit work, and how they cut the music and transition the music could have used some work.
Yeah.
But
I think it was interesting that they didn't do like just an opening and then to the show, but they had like the opening like she was listening to it.
yeah,
I think that was cool.
yeah, I thought that was a pretty awesome way to do the intro, where she was listening to it. I just wish that they didn't cut it like at this random spot when people flew out windows.
Yeah, because how when the show was released was like a year before. The creator, it's just one dude at the beginning named Montiom. He put out like the Ruby trailer, so it's like how he pitched it to people who wanted to watch it is like these four characters are like archetypes of like Disney princesses pretty much, but it's like flipped on its head like Ruby Rose, like she's red like Red Riding Hood, and like other stuff. So I just wanted to, because like when we first watched it, it's like 12 months before is like the Ruby trailer. It was just like Little Red Riding Hood kind of sniping wolves pretty much and like cutting their heads off. So it's like we didn't really get a feel for what we just thought we knew it'd be like an action show. So I was just wondering, like, from not knowing that coming in, did you catch that at all?
I think at the very beginning where she had the hood on, right?
Yeah.
And the bad guy is like, hey, raise your hands up. I think I kind of saw a little bit, but then she took her hood off, and I completely forgot about that.
Okay. But now you know that. Does it make sense on the character design?
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. The character design and how the story looks like it's gonna go, where she's gonna go fight monsters. That sounds about right.
All right, cool. Anything else?
I just thought that the intro was really interesting, or how the beginning of the story. It really definitely seems like a video game intro,
Yeah.
or like a lot of different anime intros, where there's
They just throw you into the world.
yeah, and just like how in the beginning of the world there's light and darkness, and then there's creation, and then everything's good, and then
Yeah.
now it's not good anymore, and now they're fighting darkness again. I feel like that's definitely in many different video games that I've played, and it's really interesting how they have brought this into an anime.
Yeah. So what do you think's gonna happen next?
She'll probably I feel like she's gonna hang out at this Beacon Academy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna meet other people. We'll probably meet the rest of or maybe a few of the supporting characters, and I think the conflict will start. Maybe a monster will show up, or yeah, I think
Okay.
it'll be really cool. I'm excited.
I think you saw some of the monsters in the outro,
Yeah.
right? And then the beginning. What do you think the monsters are gonna look like?
Based on what you've told me and what I've seen, I remember in the very beginning there was like the wolf snake
Yeah.
thing. That was kind of weird. And maybe it'll be like just wild beasts, wolves, just random animals that have shadow powers, something like that.
And then last question: when they first robbed the store, they're going for dust.
Yeah.
They kind of gave like a vague description of it at the beginning, but what do you think that's gonna be? Like what after watching it for a while?
Okay.
Where do you think it's gonna go?
I think from what they just explained it, what I understood of it was something. It's something that gives them power, and it like powers a lot of different weapons, and just a lot of different things. And I think it's gonna play into like different kinds of dust, different powers of dust, and different ways that dust can help different people fight. And I think it'll be cool. I think that's a really cool concept that they're trying to explain and put in. So I want to see what they're gonna do with that.
Okay, so gonna finish this. We'll watch episode 2 and probably come back. So,
Okay.
yeah. Cool.